Hi, Dave Edwards here, your personal songwriting coach. Session 10, Creating a Great Melody. The first important realization that you should have about melodies is that you only need 5 to 7 notes, sometimes just 3. This is great news because you can come up with 5 notes very easily. The biggest mistake new songwriters make is not building the song around 5 to 7 great notes. The song just seems to go on, covering more and more ground and claiming none of it. When you find a strong melody in just a few notes, keep repeating that same musical phrase even as the chords change. By keeping it simple, your melody will be more memorable. I remember when I first started to write songs, I could play the piano by ear, so I could create a good jam track, but I didn't know about sticking with those 5 notes. The music was beautiful, but not memorable. A friend commented, "That sounds nice." I asked, "Be honest with me, does it sound more like a tune you would hum later, or just nice background music?" I knew the answer. He concurred. It sounds more like nice background music. I was beginning to realize something. It kind of crystallized in my head when I asked myself, does this sound like a real song? As I thought about that, I began to value whether or not the tune was catchy. Can I remember it later? Could someone else remember it later? If you listen to great songs, quite often you will hear that the entire song is rooted in that first phrase. And that first phrase is literally repeated 3 or 4 times before going anywhere else. There's one strong phrase for the verse and possibly another for the chorus. Rinse and repeat, just like the shampoo bottle says. Don't worry about your lyrics yet. You can use nonsense words that you can change later. Just Google lyrics. Borrow a line of words from a song you don't know. Sing those 5 to 7 words or syllables over and over. You can come up with more words later. As an example, I Googled lyrics and found this phrase, "And when I close my eyes." It was in the middle of a song. Let's change it to "If I close my eyes" for this example. Keep singing those same words over and over to exactly the same tune that you create. If I close my eyes, if I close my eyes. As you sing those same notes over and over, you will feel them begging you to change them just a little bit. Resist the urge to change them until you have really settled on that strong core melody phrase. Then, as you feel the song wanting to write itself, allow the tune to vary slightly. Many times you'll sing the same exact phrase 3 times and change it slightly for the final phrase. When you do this, you will have created either the verse or the chorus part of your song. If it sounds like storytelling, setting up with anticipation for a release, it's a verse. If it sounds like the release, the general message of the song, long sailing notes, you probably have a chorus. Either way, in a verse or chorus, there will be a melody line that will repeat. As you add more lyrics, the tune will evolve slightly to accommodate those words. But these are small incremental changes to your core melody. Think about it. When you do what real songs do, your song will sound like a real song, and it will be. And think about this too. A great song feels like you already know it, or you learn it very quickly. When you repeat that same musical phrase, with different words of course, your listener will have heard it 4 times in the first 30 seconds of your song. It's no surprise to you now why it feels like they know it. You just taught it to them by singing that phrase 4 times. Nothing could be more simple. Nothing could be more encouraging. If you only need 5 notes, you can do this. Spend your creative time finding that one phrase to build on. Keep looking until you're excited about how good those few notes sound when you sing them over and over. We have lowered the bar for the amount of musical material you need, but we have raised the bar too because we want to choose one great phrase. Here's a way you can draw out great melodies. Of course, find a great jam track that repeats 4 chords in a style you like. Now, try to come up with those first 5 to 7 notes that sound good as you repeat them. Use the natural rhythm of a spoken phrase. Notice the natural rhythm of the words as you speak them. If I close my eyes, if I close my eyes. Use that rhythm pattern to sing a tune. Consider that there are 3 places your tune can start relative to your jam track. You can start on the first downbeat like this. If I close my eyes. You can start just before the downbeat like this. If I close my eyes. You can start just after the downbeat like this. If I close my eyes. Trust yourself to come up with ideas. Keep trying things. Your song starts to come to life when you choose that one musical phrase to build on. It helps to be in your creative zone when you're doing this. You should be relaxing and observing the ideas as they come to you. Discovering a tune that feels like it was already there. Just listen to the jam track and hum along. Feel it naturally happening. Use a recorder to capture your ideas. A smartphone works great for this. Don't judge yourself while you're humming. The rules of brainstorming apply. No negative feedback. You can listen to the recording later to find the best phrase. Choose the best one. Evaluate it by singing it over and over. If you can repeat it and like it, you've found it. Whether or not that phrase stands up after repeating it over and over is the acid test. It's far better to root everything in one 5 to 7 note melody and very gradually add complexity than it is to start with complexity. You must allow your brilliant creative power to provide some good choices for you. But don't forget to choose. Don't use all those musical phrases in the same song. Quite often you'll find you may have created core ideas for several songs. Don't put all those ideas in the same song. You'll dilute your tune too much. I always tell the story of an ice sculptor. To create art, he carves a stroke on one side and then balances it with the next stroke. There's symmetry there. If he carved the ice the way a beginning songwriter does, he would just start chipping here, there, everywhere. In a few hours, all that would be left is a pile of ice chips on the ground. By choosing a phrase to keep, you have art. But if you don't choose, you just have a pile of chips. You need to choose the theme and balance every other line in the song in a way that is reflective of that theme. Now you have the most important rule about creating melodies. But believe me, I'm the last person that would say there are any rules that you can't break. If something sounds good to you, go with it. I just want you to intelligently decide to break the rules because it sounds so good. I don't want you to be ignorant of what makes your songs memorable. Remember in the beginning that we said it was important that you have musical preferences? This is where you use them. You need to get very confident about making choices. Be able to say, I like this phrase better than this one. Trust yourself to make good choices. It's important that you know what you like and you know a good song when you hear one. You're going to hear a great song, a song you love. It will be a song you have created. You have learned that to create a great melody, you just need those first few notes. Once you've found them and chosen them, use them, repeat them, and build on them. When I did that, my friend actually said the very words I'd been thinking of. That sounds like a real song. Yours will too.